Hello, everybody. This is Kxo Radio AM 1230. And once again, we're here with Mickey Dale, voice of the Imperial Tigers. And Mickey's going to provide us with an Imperial Valley League high school football review and preview. Mickey, take it away.
Well, Kurt, as you know, a couple of games involved teams that were unbeaten coming into the night. We'll get to those gentlemen. The Imperial game, as you mentioned, and the Tigers come away with a 49-14 victory over Palo Verde. And it's always a big night on homecoming, especially for senior and Tigers senior quarterback Nayel. Solid evening, completing 10 of 17 passes for 142 yards, 3 touchdowns, 9 touchdown passes on the season. And senior Jay Dennis would score 2 touchdowns rushing in his final homecoming. So Robles would gather 3 of the passes from Ayala for 73 yards, including a 42-yard touchdown. Senior Isaiah Perez caught his 3rd touchdown of the season, and freshman Trey Reese grabbed his 2nd touchdown of the year. Darren Wessel would come up with an all-out outing for the Tigers, played just the first half, would rush for 115 yards with 6 yards on a run. And did 4 games in which he has rushed for at least 1 yard per game. So he's really coming into his own, has 8 touchdowns rushing, has a receiving touchdown, and a punt return for a touchdown. Not a bad start for a freshman. AJ Arispe scored 1 for the defense as he scooped a jacket fumble and went 16 yards for the touchdown. And that's it's on the score for a senior on the homecoming. So AJ was very happy to come up with that one, as was the team. Imperial is now 5-0 on the season. And with Valley on Friday, the Jackets will host Sweetwater High School on Friday night. One of the 2 Battle of the Unbeatens was in Hovell, and it was Oldies as they came away with a 38-0 win over Mexico. Quarterback Raul Briseño completed 7 passes for 189 touchdowns, plus he rushed for 2 more touchdowns. Hector Sanchez had 103 yards. Enrique was on a 59 rushing with a touchdown. Alan Carrillo made the most of them, 108 yards for 2 touchdowns for the Vikings. Now the Bulldogs, without their starting quarterback Bobby Monahan, who's done such a great job offensively and defensively for the Bulldogs, he has had a leg injury with the rest of the season. Overall, outscored their opponents by a total of 258-7. Mission Bay's the only team to score on this season. Louisville 5-0. Mexico is 1. And interesting to note, the Vikings this week will play Lake Mead Christian Academy of Henderson, Nevada. Now, for the old timers like me, you will remember the name of Needles. Well, Lake Mead is in the same league, Needles, although they're in Nevada, and Needles, and Needles used to be in the old Chaparral League with Imperial, Bell, and Calipatri. The Bulldogs will open Imperial Valley League 3. They'll be hosting unbeaten Brawley Friday night. The other battle beatings was up in the north end, a veterans feud in Calipatri area, as the Hornets hosted Army, and the Warriors would come away with a 49 win in that game. Now the Hornets surprised the Warriors. They took an 8-7 lead after a quarter of play, and surprising that's the first points Army Navy has given up this year. They had outscored their opponents 102-0 before the Hornets scored in the first game in Calipatria. Now the Hornets battle right down and twice get it. The Warriors red zone, but a 98-yard return for touchdown and a fumble stopped the Hornets time for those occasions. Calipatria is now 4-1. Army Navy is 4-0. Hornets will have a couple of weeks off before traveling to Chista. They'll meet Victory Academy on October 11th. 2 Old Desert Valley's Elite teams met up at Al Jones Field in El Centro as the Central Spartans hosted Coachella Valley. The Spartans away with a 40-20 victory. Nico Viesca, big story again on offense for the Spartans. He would kick 4 times for 148 yards and would score 3 touchdowns. That gives him 9 on the season. Luis Jimenez was at 10 passing and 132 yards, 103 and 2 touchdowns to Joshua Garcia. He wasn't through. He would throw the crowd with a 75 conference return for a touchdown. And defensively, Gavin Mora was in on 12 tackles in the game. Two of those for loss and an interception. Alex Trejo was the second interception. Warren 4-1 on the Coachella 3-2. Spartans will travel to Yuma on Friday night. They'll beat the Cibola, of course. The other undefeated team actually on night was the Brawley Cats. They were in Yuma against Gila Ridge. Came up with a big 56-21. It was the Matthews leading quarterback Matthew Gutierrez would throw for 3 touchdowns in the game, and then would rush for a 63-yard touchdown run, as well as he gained 120 yards on the ground. And the other man, Moreno, would score on touchdowns of 15 and 67 yards, as 119 yard rushing. Sergio Dia for the Wildcats, who scored 2 touchdowns, one on an 82-yard pass reception. He also had a 36-yard. Lloyd Rosas on a 79-yard touchdown reception. And Branders also caught a touchdown pass for the Wildcats. We're now 4 on the bridge, dropping in 3. I mentioned before, the Wildcats will open the Valley League Friday at Kxo Bulldogs down at Wood in Calexico. So Memorial has just one Friday, and there's still one loss with a big victory. Vista in Chula Vista, to 16 score. Sophomore Victor De Leon had 9 yards and down. Luis Asani, Scott defense, he was in on 14 tackles in the game. 2 of those sacks, and also recorded an interception. He 2 more sacks on his 10 tackles for the Scots. And the 4-1 Vincent Memorial team will take the week off. We're hosting the SETI Zorros on October 5th. And the game last week involved Wales, and they lost to like 57-0. Eagles continuing on offense for their 4th shutout on the season. And they'll have a week off before hosting Palo Verde Valley on October 4th. So that kind of wraps the recaps of last week. And Kurt, you know, we got a big game this week. Pool up there, and 2 teams that history of streaks, went from a 10-win streak for Valley City, 3 for the Tigers, and that one ought to be interesting.
It should be, and you know, you kind of skipped over homecoming. Homecoming's for the adults too. They all rally back around their old alma maters and hang out and enjoy the games, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, the 1984, 40th. So we talked to Jamie Platt, whose brother Roy listens to us every week from Melissa, Texas. Talked to Jamie before the game, and it was neat to see them in some portables beyond the northern zone for the class of 84, so they could get together and talk during the game. So, and then there were other classes in there as well, and other reunions that are coming up with classes that will take the weeks ahead. So it was a big night. The field painted up, had a big, beautiful red interlocking IT for Imperial in the middle, outlined with white. The zone had Imperial and black out in the zone, and there was a lot of true to the game. And the Pride of Imperial band played before the game and also played during the home part of it. So it was an exciting night for me. Okay.
Well, that's great, and that's great news. And everybody, I want to thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you Friday night with 2 games being broadcast, and we look forward to catching up with Mickey after that and next week as well.
That's in that Valley Center game. It's going to be interesting. Valley Center had won 10 straight against Imperial. Imperial beat them in 22 by a 10-9 score. And in that game, Rashad Robinson came by 70 yards. He'll be suited up for the first year running back for the Tigers this Friday night. And then with 2 games last year, the Valley Center lost. First one was in the season in overtime. The second game was won in CIS team, and Joe Robles kicked field goals in each of them for the Tigers. That made it interesting there. And the Tigers are 4 on the season. Came up with a big victory against Rancho Buena Vista last week, 35-6. And you know they're going to be out to revenge losses. It's always tough to play at home, so that'll be a good game for Friday night.
It will be, and we're looking forward to it. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you here again next time around.
All right. Thanks, Kurt.